The movie centers around the Madrigal family, sheltered in the bosom of a secured, mountainous realm in Colombia, brimming with color and kindness. A while ago, an armed conflict forces Pedro and Alma Madrigal, a young married couple, to flee their home village in Colombia with their infant triplets, Julieta, Pepa, and Bruno. The attackers kill Pedro, but the candle of Alma magically repels the attackers and creates Casita, a home for the family located in Encanto, a magical realm bordered by high mountains bringing comfort to the civilians. When Alma's children came of age, the miracle blessed them each with a magical gift to protect them, and their children got magic too, making the home a paradise. Later, some kids ask Mirabel about the members of her family, and she introduces all the members of the Madrigal family with their individual gifts. Her mom, Julieta, can heal with her food. Her sisters, Isabella, who controls the weather, and Luisa, who is super strong. Her uncle, Bruno, who disappeared, sees the future, and her other cousins and their magic, but she fails to mention her gift since she failed to get one. Later that evening, the family plans the ceremony for Mirabel's 5-year-old cousin Antonio, who is ready to receive her gift, and Grandma Alma asks Mirabel to leave the decorating to someone else to avoid causing a mess. Mirabel finds her cousin Antonio worried about the process, but she encourages her that, unlike her, she will receive a gift, and even gives her a tiger doll since she loves animals. At the ceremony, a worried Antonio walks to the magic wall holding Mirabel's hand, who recalls her failure to get a gift as she underwent the process last time. However, this time, young Antonio touches the door and she gets gifted with the ability to communicate with animals and a large room with trees and animals as she joyfully plays around with her tiger, while Mirabel watches hoping for her own miracle. Later, Mirabel sees Casita cracking and the candle's flame flickering, and she reports to Alma and her family, but her warnings go unheeded when Casita appears undamaged to the others. Mirabel's mom also comforts her not to worry for lacking gifts, and that she is also as special as anyone else, but she is also afraid of losing her, like her brother, Bruno. Later that night, Mirabel sneaks out and sees Grandma praying for the cracks and the dying miracle, and she resolves to save the miracle. The next day, she talks to her super strong older sister, Luisa, who confesses to feeling overwhelmed by her constant obligations she gets from everyone. Luisa then tells Mirabel about Bruno's terrible vision before he left, and suggests that she visits Bruno's room in a forbidden tower in Casita, which could probably explain the phenomenon. So Mirabel sneaks into Bruno's room where she finds a cave and she walks through the mysterious paths. She then finds pieces of broken green emerald glass, which she unites and sees her image on it. However, before she could understand, the cave begins to crumble and she barely escapes with the glass pieces. Outside, Luisa discovers that her strength is weakening, and Granny Alma asks Mirabel not to talk to her again about the incident. Mirabel's family also tells her that the reason they don't mention Bruno around is because of how his terrible visions came true for the people around he had prophesied for. Later that evening, Mirabel's oldest sister, Isabella, who can make plants and flowers grow at will, is scheduled to become engaged to neighbor Mariano Guzman, and they gather for the meeting with his family. Amidst Mariano's proposal and an awkward dinner, cousin Dolores, who possesses superhuman hearing, reveals Mirabel's discovery about Bruno's vision of the cracked house to everyone, startling everyone and causing Casita to crack again, ruining the night and Mariano's proposal. Amidst the chaos, a group of rats steal the glass pieces, and Mirabel follows them and discovers a secret passage behind a portrait into a mysterious cave, where she discovers that her uncle Bruno is actually hiding. Bruno shows her where he lives, with rats revealing that he never left the house, but he hid and stays in watching them since he loved his family, though his gift wasn't of any help to them. Mirabel then asks why she was in his vision, afraid that she is hurting the family. And Bruno explains that the night Mirabel failed to get her magic, Granny asked Bruno to look into the future, and he saw the vision of the house cracking and Mirabel appearing, and so fearing the worst, he left to protect her from the injuries. Bruno also guesses that the fate of the family rests on Mirabel, and Mirabel asks him to see another vision to help the situation. Bruno is reluctant, and Antonio appears after the rats told her everything they discussed, and she offers her a large room for him to conjure his visions. The family and people in town grow anxious about the magic, and they confront Granny Alma, who asks them to find Mirabel. Later, Bruno reluctantly conjures a vision and sees a similar vision of the cracking house and Mirabel, but they also see Mirabel embracing her sister Isabella to strengthen the candle. Mirabel finds her sister all conceited and annoying, but Bruno encourages her to find Isa so as to save the family, and he returns to his room. Therefore, Mirabel finds her sister Isa in her room upset, and she reluctantly apologizes to her, and Isabel confesses that she does not want to marry Mariano and is burdened by her image of perfection and that she just wants a simpler life. Mirabel helps Isabella develop her powers, creating new plants, and the two embrace as the candle burns brighter. However, Granny Alma sees the pair all joyous and accuses Mirabel of causing the family's misfortunes out of spite for not having a gift. In return, Mirabel finally snaps at Alma for deeming her not good enough for the family, blaming her overbearing nature for the weakening of the family's magic, causing even Bruno to leave the family, and she claims that the miracle is dying because of her. During the argument, the casita begins to form fissures and Mirabel runs to save the candle, while the mountain outside splits into two. In panic, the family, including Bruno, run out of the house while Mirabel grabs the candle, which eventually extinguishes as the whole house crumbles, leaving them homeless. The family searches for Mirabel, but she runs to a nearby river, and Granny Alma finds her there, crying. She apologizes to Alma for unintentionally hurting them, and Alma explains the story about how the river is where Pedro died, and they were given the miracle as she recalls their love affairs with Pedro and the tragic incident of the attacks that caused his death. However, during her despair, the magic miracle appeared, and it gave comfort to her family and the whole village. Alma also admits that she was given a second chance, and being so afraid of losing it, she lost sight of who the miracle was for, and she apologizes to Mirabel for breaking the family. Abuela and Mirabel then reconcile, and Mirabel comforts her that they can fix everything together, and Alma thanks fate for bringing Mirabel to her. As they embrace, beautiful butterflies fly around them and Bruno joins them, confessing to giving Mirabel the vision which caused the whole situation. But Alma, surprised to see his son, Brunito, alive and fresh, instead hugs him, and together the three head back to their town. The kids are joyous at their return, and the bells ring at their arrival, and Mirabel's family welcome her back joyously, though they are now lacking a home. Seeing the hopeless situation, Mirabel then encourages the Madrigal family that they're more than just their gift, and Alma brings back Bruno, who is joyfully embraced by everyone. Meanwhile, everyone in town also joins them with their construction tools, and they all team up to help rebuild the family casita. Mariano was also disappointed for not marrying Isabel, but Mirabel introduces him to her beautiful cousin Dolores, and they agree to move on. The family house gets completed, but before entering, the family gives Mirabel the doorknob and asks her to open the door first, and as she opens it, the magic returns to the whole village, and they all swarm into the house, including Antonio and her animals. The Madrigal family regain their gifts as they all celebrate in joy, and they take a group photo, bringing the fascinating film to an end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.